Hello everyone, this is Josh, here to bring you a new video, and today I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to say this, plain and simple and pretty blunt. I might have some cuss words in here, I'm not really sure because this is completely insane. People are like, we need to remove these statues of historical figures, we need to destroy memorials because they were Confederate. Let me tell you something, it's called history. If we don't learn from history, we will be doomed to repeat it. And the reason why we have all this, even if the historical figure was right or wrong in their beliefs, you have to respect the fact that when we honor historical figures, even if they were right or wrong, they serve as history that reminds us not to continue to do this. Not to go back and do this. And, you know, the reason why we have so much racial divides is because we have groups that just literally create this hate. And then you got the mainstream news media continuing to pump in this racial divide, anti-American agenda. Let me tell you something. I believe in history. I love history. I used to read about the Civil War. And I learned over the years, and you keep learning about it, that the Civil War was not about slavery at all. It was about wages. North decided to cut off the wages of the South. Now, yes, the North had slaves. Everyone had slaves back then. But, you know, slavery was wrong. It got abolished. It'd be like saying, well, we need to go to Abraham Lincoln's memorial and destroy that because he abolished slavery. Everything that was wrong with slavery. And you know what the fact is? Back in those times when slaves existed, and even before, you know, black slaves, white slaves, whatever we're going to call them, the fact is, let's go back in time, let's go back to history, when Jesus Christ walked the earth. Let's go back and talk about Noah and Abraham and all those characters from the Bible. And by the way, most people might not agree with the Bible. The thing is, Hebrews were slaves. The Egyptians slaved them. And yet, people have I have a problem with slavery. I don't agree with slavery. I don't agree with racism. And it's like I said on my channel, hate speech is not welcome on my channel. Anyone caught using hate speech will immediately be banned. I've said before, and I believe in freedom of speech, but hate speech, yeah, it's protected by the First Amendment, but I don't have to listen to it. I can just say, goodbye, you're gone, adios. And who are you to decide what is okay and what is not okay to learn about? Who are you? The fact that Baltimore just removed 4 Confederate statues, by the way, you know, they didn't do it for anybody but for political reasons, because they were pressured into doing this. You know that for a fact. It'd be like if somebody came to my hometown of Indiana and they saw a Civil War memorial and then they decide to destroy it because they don't like it. Excuse me, when did we become a nation of catering towards people? Saying, it's okay, like I said, or if I haven't said it, but I'm going to say it now, there's a reason why we have to remember history. Good, the bad, and even the ugly. Because if we don't, we will repeat the same pattern. And why I'm at it, I'm going to talk about racism again. I'm going to talk about the racists, white supremacists, Ku Klux Klan, the neo-Nazis. I'm going to talk about the Ku Klux Klan for a moment here. Who created the Ku Klux Klan? Well, that was Southern Democratic supporters who created the Ku Klux Klan. That's who did that. Oh, and by the way, the Southern Democratic elected officials who reside in the Southern lands are the ones that created the Jim Crow laws. They're the ones that created segregation. And Lyndon B. Johnson, president in the 60s, who signed the Civil Rights Act, was pressured because he realized that if he didn't do it, the Democratic Party, which are full of racist bigots, who created the Ku Klux Klan, the segregation laws, and the Jim Crow laws, would be done, would be finished. What kind of person, if I was a black person, I would never support Democrat. for all the things that I've learned throughout history on how racist they really are. And then you hear terms like, well, a Republican zebra doesn't change its spots. You mean stripes. So tell me something, Democrats. You talk about how Republicans, myself included, conservatives like myself, are racist and bigots because we voted for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, our president, the 45th president, has denounced, disavowed the entire hate groups. As long as I can remember. Go back and watch some clips. But yet the news media on the left continues to perpetuate that Donald Trump is a racist and Donald Trump is a fascist. I don't think you even know what those words actually mean because you don't look at a dictionary. And a matter of fact, I have never, in my entire life, have I ever seen the most hypocrisy the left has been doing. Yes, I'm talking about the left. The Democrats who hate President Trump. Oh yeah, I defended Jimmy Fallon. That was a huge mistake. I said, Jimmy Fallon, you're a comedian. Your job is to make people laugh. And while you said on your open monologue that this is not a political show, you go ahead and bash Trump. Oh, and all the other Tonight shows. You are unfunny. There's a lot of things going on in our nation. Maybe you might want to pay attention to it and stop watching CNN because CNN's full of shit. Yeah, you know the thing is, CNN keeps claiming that Trump didn't denounce or disavow the Ku Klux Klan or the white nationalists, and he fucking did that already. So it's time to move on. Get over your fucking selves and get on with your lives. And you know what? There's always going to be stupid ignorance in this world. Period. This world is evil and vile. So guess what? It's not going to get better unless you decide, hey, we're going to stand up, we're going to be united, and we're going to stop this division. We're going to stop race baiting people. We're going to stop making these fictional articles that are garbage. And by the way, all the Tonight shows, you're not the news. When I go to watch the Tonight shows, I want to laugh and not think about politics. I don't want to think about what's going on in the political world. I want to laugh at maybe some of these stories in the news, how funny some of the stories are. You know, it's like Jay Leno, very funny guy. I love him. I respect him great dearly. He was funny. He'd put bloopers on articles. David Letterman, he was funny. Those guys were legends. And yes, they did make fun of politics, but they equally made fun of it. And like I said, again, the Tonight Show is not the news. And if anybody treats it like it is the news, then you need to go look at some sources instead of watching fake news. Alright, have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm trying to stay away from politics for a while, but guess what? I keep coming back into it because people are doing stupid things. Alright,